Hello students, Miss Lockhart here. Together we will be drawing a stained glass window inspired by medieval stained glass. It's going to be really fun. Get your piece of paper out or your sketchbook and a pencil. You'll even need a ruler or a folded piece of paper for a straight edge. And these are my little thumbnail sketches that we will also be making together to pick what kind of design we want for our own stained glass window. You can choose your own design. So here I have my sketchbook, and I will be folding my page. Oh no, this is going to be the thumbnail sketch. I'm sorry, don't fold your page. We're going to practice doing a few different types of window designs. And that way you'll start to get the hang of it and know what to pick when you do your next one. So you'll see I've almost drawn a rectangle, but left the top open. That'll be for the top of the window. Here's one kind of design. You could do an arch or a semicircle, half a circle. You can do the top being like a triangle or going to a point. Oh, and on this one to the far right, I did the bottom a curve. So it's almost going to be like an oval, almost. Let's see, what should I do up here? I'm going to do a smaller point and then do one on each side, kind of like a crown. Let's see, what should I do here? Okay, I'm going to do kind of like the top of an arrow. It's almost a triangle, but without the bottom connection. The bottom line. Okay, great. So here's how we do the inside of these windows. You want to divide it up so that you have different shapes, smaller shapes, more sections, and then you're going to create a smaller shape inside that one, and which looks like it has a frame around it. It's like a smaller window with a frame around it, just like traditional stained glass has the frame between each piece of glass. So I'm dividing it up. I did a semicircle up top because that was the shape that line made, and divided it down the middle, and now I'm going ahead and putting smaller rectangles inside the larger ones, and you'll see it starts to look like a window when you have the frame around the glass pieces. Okay, so I'm going ahead on this one, and you'll see I've divided up that window into two parts, the top part and the bottom, and then I want to go ahead and divide it up a little bit more, and here are my windows. On our final drawing of our stained glass, it's going to be bigger, so we'll be able to do more with the windows and add more detail. So I'm dividing that one in half, and then I'm going to do one big window on the right side here and one big window on the left. That looks more modern to me, like a newer stained glass. So think of a fun design. You can do anything you want. I'm going to label this thumbnail sketch. These are sketches to help create a design, and they're thumbnails. They're called thumbnail because they're smaller than the final sketch, the final drawing. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and get started. I'm going to show you how you'll need to fold your page in half. You can still just use your sketchbook or any white piece of paper, and you'll see now I have the middle of my paper marked by that fold line, the crease, which is super helpful because we are going to try to make a symmetrical stained glass window, which means the same on both sides. And I have a ruler here. You can also use a folded piece of paper or maybe like the side of a magazine or something that has a straight edge. So I'm going to start to divide up my paper. You'll see the shape of the sketchbook page is a rectangle. So right now I'm dividing up the top, and you'll see I have two spaces up top, two squares. And I want to make the top of my stained glass triangular, and I want it to come to that point at the very top. So I lined up my ruler to the middle where the fold line is, and then I lined it to the left and right side of that other line and dragged it down to create 2 diagonal lines, one on each side to create a triangle. Now I'm going to trace the right side there to finish off the rectangular shape. Even though the side of the page does count as the side of the rectangle of our window, I still am drawing these lines here because I want to make a frame. So I used my ruler and I lined it up to the edge of the paper, and you see I made a little mistake at the bottom. That line's not quite straight. But that's okay. We're all going to make a few mistakes, and you all are going to be using a pencil. I'm using a Sharpie so that you can see my line. So it's nice and dark. And I've started to do my frames. And then the shape is formed inside, and you can see now it looks like a triangular window with a frame around it. I'm going to divide up that rectangle in half. So now I have 2 rectangles. And I'm going to go ahead and divide it up again so that there will be 4 rectangles or 4 corners inside that larger. Well, I guess it's more of a square now, isn't it? Okay. The next step would be to create frames on the inside of these smaller shapes. So I'm using my straight edge, my ruler here, and these lines are just, I don't know, maybe a 1/4 inch wide. You can kind of decide how big you want your frames to be. You don't want them too big because you want a lot of window space so you can draw something really cool inside. So don't have your frames be too large. You can kind of see you can see how large they are in comparison to my hands. It's maybe just half the size of my pinky nail or my pinky. Okay. I'm going to continue drawing these lines to create a frame. And I'm just holding my ruler the same direction as the outside of that big shape. Okay. Last frame to make. Now I have some windows. I get to decide what kind of images I would like inside my stained glass. Now, medieval stained glass also tells a story. Actually, most all stained glass, even newer stained glass, tells stories. So, think about what's important to you and go ahead and start to draw inside your windows. You can also create a geometric pattern like I'm doing here at the top. Now your pattern and your story is going to be different from mine probably, or you can continue to do a similar story and design that I'm using if you'd like. Be creative, see what you can come up with. You can trace other shapes too, like if you'd like a circle, you can find something circular and you can trace that like a circle shape or window. Now those top lines, those diagonal lines, kind of look like sun rays, and I like that. I do like being outside in the sun. Alright, now I'm going to draw some curved lines that kind of look like a rainbow. Now I love color and art and rainbows. So these rainbows are going to be really fun for me to color, and you can do anything you want inside your windows. I recommend keeping it symmetrical, so the same on both sides, but you don't have to. Now, I love flowers, and especially roses, and they've been on my mind because my rose plant, my rose bush, has been blooming a lot lately, so I'm going to go ahead and draw some roses. I like to make mine with spirals. That's how I start. And notice how I'm making it symmetrical, the same on both sides. To finish the rose, I'm doing a curved line, kind of the bottom of an oval that connects to those spirals. You'll see it's starting to look kind of like a rose that's about to open up, and it's about to bloom. I will be adding some petals to that in a minute. What else can I add? I'm thinking about a butterfly. And you can create anything you want. Make it your own. I love butterflies because of how they transform. Okay. Let's go ahead and add another rose since there's some extra space. Now for the stems. Those are some curved lines. Okay, well, so far the design is looking good. Oh, and I'm going to go ahead and add a little hill. It's kind of like a horizon line where the ground meets the sky. And I'm going to give it a few more details on the butterfly. And I love making dashed lines that represent movement. You can see that there. It represents that the butterfly's been fluttering around and flying around the roses. And why not give the butterfly some pattern too? This week we will just be drawing our design of our stained glass. We're going to save the coloring for next week. Once you're done with your drawing in pencil, I recommend outlining it in black, but you don't have to. It is up to you. If you do outline your pencil drawing in black, be sure to use a ruler where you used it the first time. So if you used it to create a straight line down the middle or anywhere, go ahead and use the ruler again when you use your black marker over that pencil line to make sure the line stays straight. Now you'll see I've filled up most of the space inside of my windows, and it does look about ready to be colored. So this is a good stopping point. I hope you had fun. I hope you were creative and thought of some fun images and symbols that represent something important to you for your stained glass story. Cannot wait to see it, and I will talk to you more about coloring it in next week. Bye, everyone.